Hi, everybody. How are you going today? I hope you're having a really good day. I'm going to talk to you today about heavy metal toxicity. I find that heavy metal toxicity is a common contributing factor to chronic health conditions and unwellness in my clinic. It turns up a lot in people. And I notice it shows up in people who have a general sense of just feeling a bit unwell, a general sense that something isn't quite right. They just don't feel as vital as they usually do, or they don't feel as vital as they know that they could. And it often shows up too with people just not feeling the same level of happiness, or their mood is just, a little bit low. And again, just not as enthusiastic as they know that they usually are or could be. So that's where I often see heavy metal toxicity turning up in people in my clinic. And I I hear clients who have heavy metal toxicity as a part of the causative factors of their unwellness. I hear them say things to me like, no matter how hard I try to change the way that I'm eating, no matter how hard I try and remember to take this particular supplement that I know is really good for me, no matter how hard I try to exercise or go to sleep at a decent time, or any of these things that they know would really benefit them, would just make a bit of difference in their life and support them in terms of their overall sense of well-being, that they just can't quite seem to put it into action. They have information either that they've found intellectually or intuitively have a sense that they need to do, or they've been told by somebody you're gluten intolerant, for instance, but they just can't quite seem to put it into action. That is when I really notice heavy metal toxicity turning up in my client population. So does this sound familiar to you at all? Well, you may not have heard of heavy metal toxicity. We are basically exposed to heavy metal toxins every day. We can't really avoid it. With the world that we live in at the moment, it's really, I'm not sure it's even really possible to make sure that we completely avoid being exposed to heavy metal toxins. So what it really comes down to then is immunity. It comes down to your immune system being able to keep up with detoxing heavy metals and getting them out of your body. And sometimes your body won't be able to keep up with that. Sometimes your resources are being diverted somewhere else for a really good reason, right? You might have the flu, and so your body's busy taking care of that, and it's not diverting resources to getting rid of heavy metal toxicity. It could be that you've been in a state of stress, for a prolonged period of time. And so your body is so busy keeping up with surviving that it doesn't have the resources left over to be keeping on top of eliminating heavy metal toxins from your body. So I'm not going to go into a description about the symptoms of different heavy metals and how they present and what they do to your body, because you can Google that on the internet and you can find that anywhere. Lots of people have written articles about that and talk about that. But what I'm going to talk about is how you can address this from a spiritual healing perspective. So the healing spirit that I work with a team of healing spirits in my clinic, and they diagnose issues with people and then they treat them using their light. And their light creates a change in consciousness in the person, and it helps resolve certain issues and certain symptoms. And the healing spirit in my clinic that I've been working with for 20 years now, Dr. Franco, he is the heavy metal toxicity specialist that I work with. He is actually a toxicity specialist, not just heavy metal, but he shows up quite a lot with heavy metal toxicity. He presents as a canary yellow color. actually quite similar to this color here, but much brighter, really startlingly bright. And so I had a chat to him just before about what is the best information that I could give you guys about how to treat heavy metal toxicity in your body from a spiritual perspective. And he was saying to me, number one thing is cell health, okay, our cellular health. He's saying his number one point is that when you spend too much time in your head and in your thoughts, then your cell health suffers. How could this be, you might ask? Well, it's about consciousness and energy distribution. It is about where you give your presence and awareness to inside of your body. And our culture, our world at the moment, well, certainly our culture, I can only speak for our culture, places a lot of value on thinking and thoughts. It places value on thinking and thoughts over most other things. It's quite a heady culture. And consequently, we often have to make an effort to carve out time and space so that we can connect with the rest of our body, so that we can make an effort to remember that we're not just a head and a brain on a stick, you know, our body being the stick, obviously, but we're not just a head and a brain walking around with this body that helps transport us around. Our head and our brain is only, you know, this much of who and what we are. We have this whole body, and we need to give presence and awareness, not just to our mind and our chatter and our thoughts, but to our whole body. And when we give presence and awareness to our body, and we are more evenly distributed through our own body, then we're able to give resources, vital resources, back into the cellular consciousness in our body, and we can connect into the innate intelligence that sits in the cells. The cells know how to operate without our mind having to tell them what to do. Our cells are our unconscious. Our cells have an understanding and a knowing of how to be reproducing themselves and taking care of themselves, and therefore taking care of the tissues and the vital organs of our body. And I was thinking about it the other day because I cut my thumb recently. Actually, what I did was I took a big chunk of skin right off the top, and it's just, you know, healed. What an amazing body. So yeah, give awareness and presence back to the body. Be more evenly distributed through your body, and honor its intelligence. Honor the intelligence that sits in your cells is Dr. Franco's number one tip when it comes to heavy metal toxicity. The next thing is that once you have created a more even distribution of consciousness, of presence and awareness through your body, and then you've offered more energy and vitality back to your cells, okay? So when your consciousness is more evenly distributed, you're offering presence and awareness back to your body, not just your head, then you are offering more energy and vitality back to your cells for your cells to use. Then Dr. Franco says the next thing is that you can use his light, his canary yellow colored light, to change consciousness in some pretty key areas in your body. Okay, so that you need to get these areas operating as well as possible in order to be able to eliminate heavy metal toxicity from your body. And when I say change consciousness, what I mean is Dr. Franco's canary yellow light can change the quality of the vibration and energy in certain places in your body, so that heavy metal toxicity can be more readily removed from your body, and so that it can't hang out in those areas as well either. Okay, it's not as friendly for heavy metal toxicity to be able to be there. So those key areas are, number one, your digestive system. Okay, so from the very top of your digestive system, from your mouth all the way down to literally the very bottom of your digestive system, you can ask Dr. Franco you can call him in, ask Dr. Franco, and imagine canary yellow light moving through your body from the top of the digestive tract in the mouth, and imagine it moving all the way down your digestive tract, down your esophagus, into your stomach, through your small intestine, your large intestine, and all the way out the end. And if you actually just can't imagine that, right, just because you just can't concentrate, your mind's really busy, whatever it might be, then draw it. Just get a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be a fancy picture. Just draw an outline of a body on a piece of paper. I actually meant to do that before I started this Facebook Live, and then I forgot. Draw an outline of a body, something as wonderful as that, and then just draw the digestive tract all the way through, and then just colour it in a very bright yellow light. That will bring Dr. Franco's yellow light into your digestive system to create the change needed in there in order to help with heavy metal toxicity elimination. Number two, stick with me here, I've got not very long to go. The liver. You do the same thing with the liver. You bring canary yellow coloured light from Dr. Franco into your liver, and that will help cleanse your liver in the right way to help with heavy metal toxicity removal. And finally, your cells. The cells in your body need just a bit of your attention and presence in order to support them in their job. So you imagine a cell, so just a circle, for a cell, and then from a point in the middle of the cell, you don't have to do it in every cell, you do it in one cell, and then you imagine that happens in every single cell. So from a point in the middle, you imagine canary yellow light filling the entire cell from the inside out. And you just ask for that light from Dr. Franco, and he will 100% absolutely give it to you. And that is a different perspective on supporting your body to keep on top of heavy metal toxin removal. And if you have any of the symptoms that I was talking about at the beginning and just get a feeling that this would be a good thing for you to do it, then go along and have a go. That would be really great. All right, well, thank you so much for listening to me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See you later. It's always an odd ending to, oh, there's a few of you there. I didn't even realize. Hi, Donna. How you going? Okay, bye, everybody. Oh, you're welcome, Tanya.